Looks like we are live, and already a few people have joined. 7 people joined, one like already. Thank you very much, Armwrestling fans. Today's live stream is going to be about East versus West 4, which is going to be on August 6th. App.coresports.tv. It is going to be a $15 pay per view for about 15 16 super matches, and all of them are world class matches. So, and East versus West 5, Enginterzi is thinking about organizing it in mid of November, 19th November, I think. Before that is WAF Worlds in October. After that is Monster Factory event. So Engin wants it to be somewhere between that, try to find a sweet spot so that others events don't get affected by the massiveness of Engin Terzi's super match East versus West events. So the latest super match that has been announced by Mr. Engin Terzi is John Brzenk versus Evgeny Prudnik for East versus West 5. Wow, that was fast. That was fast. Till now, John Brzenk was at a slow, gradual pace. He was earlier talking about how guys like Prudnik, Hermes, these guys are just going to destroy him. Then slowly, as John came back and saw that he can still hang with the young guns, and he started beating them. Then he slowly started feeling confident enough to a point where he thinks he can hang with those guys now. And Prudnik versus John Brzenk match. There you go. So it is saying top chat and it is not showing many chat. So I need to click on live chat, maybe, hopefully, any of you. So are there no comments? Can you guys hear me? Because I do not see any comments yet. 44 people watching, 4 likes already. Please hit the likes button. So, what do you guys think about Prudnik versus John Brzenk? Is it possible for John Brzenk to beat Evgeny Prudnik? I was scheduling this live stream for 2330 my time, but I saw that Engiters is going live with Revaz Lutidze and Derek Smith. Okay, I got the comments, and Derek Smith at the same time, about 30 minutes from now, 29 minutes from now. So I started early, and I will stop this live stream exactly at the same time when Engiterzi starts his own live stream. Victor, hello, Victor. This time I am 3 minutes, 2 minutes early. I'm not late. I'm not late. Victor always comes in with his comment. Pradeep is late. Who expected? Pradeep is late as usual. And I really appreciate that, Victor. You like really force me. But this I have a new laptop and it just starts like in a snap second. With this setup, I will never be late ever in my life. Maybe I need to buy a new laptop. That is a very good sign. Leigh Rob is saying, hello, let's go. Welcome, brother. Michael Cameron is saying, yes, we can hear you. AGM, no, no, what? Okay, John Brzing, no. John wins every time Niagara Slammers against Evgeny Prudnik as well, who is possibly the number one guy under 110 kg at this point of time. Are you sure? John just feels near invincible, so why not try? Yes. Will you attend Pro Punjab League? Trainer Swash is saying yes for sure. Pro Punjab League is 22nd to 24th of July. Monster Michael Todd will also be there in India. Gwalior, 22nd July. I will also be there. Hopefully, I'll get to record an interview with Mr. and Mrs. Monster. So, will you attend Propanja League? I already answered that question. Stax is saying John does have a chance for sure. It's John Brzenk, but I got Prudnik as favorite on paper. So, Prudnik does not seem. Some people say that Prudnik is the new John Brzenk, the younger version of John Brzenk. But John Brzenk in his prime did not have any weakness, absolutely no weakness at all. But Prudnik does seem to have that top roll susceptibility as a weakness. Ongarbayev top rolled him. Vitali was, of course, going to top roll him all day long. But yes, he can be top rolled. Left handed Prudnik's left is definitely not his right. Not on the same level, not anywhere near his right. But he got top rolled by Tobias, left handed. So, yes, Prudnik has been showing some troubles with his wrist, both left and right handed. He can be top rolled, which is unlike John Brzing. John Brzing did not have many weaknesses. Yes, John was also getting top rolled by Taras Ivakin and the big arms guy. How can I? Arsen Liliev. So, but those guys were really, really explosive. Ongarbayev is not that much explosive, and still, I don't think Ongarbayev really top rolled Prudnik. Ongarbayev was able to top roll Prudnik because Prudnik, when he knew that he can just easily force the hook on Ongarbayev, Prudnik tried to out top roll him, and that is when Prudnik lost that match. So let's. The big question is, Engin has set up Todd versus Prudnik on August 6th. So Todd Hutchings, Prudnik, August 6th. John Brzenk, Kydyrgali, Ongarbayev, August 6th. The polls are heavily in favor of Todd Hutchings, about 60-65%, and heavily in favor of John Brzenk against Ongarbayev. So let's take the ideal situation. Todd Hutchings wins and John Brzenk wins. Okay, that's good. Ideally, they should face each other at East versus West 5, but they won't because John has said multiple times that he is not interested in traveling to Turkey and suffer a lot of jet lag just to pull with someone who lives 3 hours from his home, 2 hours from his home. So that match will not happen at East versus West. Also, Todd Hutchings may not be competing at East versus West 5. So let's take the other scenario. Prudnik wins and John wins. Then this match makes a lot of sense, which Engin Terzi has already set up. But if Prudnik loses and John wins against Ongarbayev, then yeah, maybe this match still makes sense, but not that much. The other situation, the most unlikely situation that probably nobody's thinking about, is if Ongarbayev beats John Brzenk and Prudnik beats Todd Hutchings, then what? If Prudnik also loses and John also loses, then these two still can face each other. But if Ongarbayev wins and Prudnik wins, so should we then see Prudnik versus Ongarbayev or Prudnik versus John Brzenk, as we for sure are going to see now? But then also we can say that Prudnik already defeated Ongarbayev. Yes, it was 3 years ago, but we have not seen anything change that much that we should demand a rematch for Ongarbayev against Prudnik. It's a tricky situation. It's a tricky situation, but it is what it is. And guys were saying, I don't think so. I don't think Todd Hutchings can beat Prudnik. I don't think John Brzezinski can beat Prudnik. I think both of those matches are going to be 3-0 for Prudnik for obvious reasons. Prudnik is fast and explosive. John can hang with Prudnik in the side pressure department, but I think, man, Prudnik can force the hook on John. And inside the hook, it is over. Unlike John held Corey West, Prudnik is not the same. So let's read the comment. Brendan is here. Prudnik can and should beat John. Be a great match, but younger and stronger right now. John would have to come in huge. I agree, Andreas. So 110 kg weight cap. I don't think John can get bigger than that. John has clearly mentioned that he will be doing some cardio from now on and probably go to an even lighter weight. AGM is saying, I think Prudnik's hand is a lot stronger than John's at the moment. Possible, possible. I think John's back pressure should hold Prudnik. Andreas. Interesting, interesting. Lear Rob is saying he's not afraid of testing himself rather than just going for the ones he knows he can beat. He was looking too comfortable against Zoloev and Zorov. But it was good. It was good for John Brzezink's comeback slowly, a slow, gradual comeback, if we just remove that or ignore that Devon led super match, which was kind of odd between these progressions that John Brzezinski is making. So it was really interesting. By the way, John was making a comeback, slowly progressing by stronger opponents, getting stronger himself. I'm not saying Chan Shaw was the weakest opponent, but John was gradually, slowly improving. Perfect comeback that we can hope for the GOAT. At 57 years, 58, he just turned 58 yesterday. We cannot hope that John would straight away go against the Wolves, the Devon Lads, and Prudniks and beat them up. So it has to be gradual, and I think John has done a great job at taking those gradual succession matches. So let's move further in the chat. He's not afraid of testing. They say Prudnik is similar to John because of his smooth transitions and table IQ mostly. Pablo couldn't open his arm. Pablo did open his arm, I think. Yeah, he toppled him, hooked him. Pablo got slightly offensive position on him. Then John was casually holding him after that. John held him in the first round in a hook. Looks promising. Yes, he did hold him. Moist got Gottlieb. Did you get in touch with the GOAT? Curious. Okay, I should, man. I just wished him happy birthday, and John was like, "Thank you." I'll ask him for the interview. Brandon is saying Kydyrgali can beat John. Guy is so fast, okay. And John kind of waits to react to what his opponent does now. Kydyrgali also was one of the few who peeled Levon's wrist back for a second. Yes, he is fast. He is fast, but for some reason, John Brzenk is extremely good at negating his opponent's speed. I'm not sure if Kydyrgali can show his speed against John. I don't think he's going to flash John, but he's definitely strong. I think he can hang with John inside and outside as well. Kydyrgali is a top roller, but even if the match goes in a hook, John may eventually win, but it will not be like an easy win for John, a single surge or two surge win. John will have to wait there for a second. William Astrom is giving me a super chat, 20 Swedish Kron super chat. Lin versus Zurab is the match since Lin came closest. Okay, Paulin versus Zurab Tavridze, closest to who? Paulin defeated Ron Bath comfortably, and Zurab kind of struggled against Ron Bath, but yes, he did beat him. Paulin versus Zurab, I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense, and maybe Paul is the favorite depending on that one match alone. But Ron was top rolling him most of the times. And yes, he did beat him in a hook as well. Ron did beat Zurab in a hook as well in round one. That is what can be worrying for Zurab. But Zurab was saying that he was not at well prepared at all in the Ron Bath match. He had COVID and stuff. So maybe inside the hook, yes, it can be still be interesting. But if we look at that just one match alone, Paulin should be the favorite. But then Paulin almost lost to David Samusha. It was a war. He won 3-2 with the 87 kilo. How can I forget David Samusha? So it kind of weird, man. These matches are kind of weird. So thank you, William. Thank you very much for your super chat. I really appreciate your support. And yes, I do think it is a good match, and it will happen eventually, depending on. And these matches, what these matches are doing is that it is clearing everyone's doubt as to which player stands where in the world rankings more and more. So if we kind of already know what Zorab Tavaridze's level is, but if we see him against Chan Shaw right now, it will be more clear. If Chan Shaw beats him, then we know where Zorab stands. If he beats Chan Shaw, which if it happens, it is going to be in a war. He will have to beat Chan Shaw like that without his wrist. Then we will also know where Zorab kind of stands. So the more we see these matches, more the world arm wrestling stage becomes clear. Let me go back to read the chats. Prudnik versus Ongarbayev. Already happened 2019. Prudnik beat him. I think Prudnik will beat him more comfortably this time. And this is why I'm worried for Ongarbayev. And see, guys, how fast John Brzenk has changed everything. 2 3 years ago, 2019, we were talking about Kydyrgali being the favorite, either him or Rustam Babayev for winning top 8 95 kilos. And John Brzenk, everyone was like, yeah, John maybe fifth or sixth or fourth. Some people were saying he can win the top 8, but not many at that time, not any pros. But right now, Kydyrgali, who used to be the favorite, is now a big underdog against John Brzenk. Only John can do that with such an awesome comeback, winning all the matches except for one Devonlet match. And Kydyrgali had a shoulder surgery about 7 8 months ago. And if that match goes outside, top roll versus top roll without his wrist sacrifice for both, and if they have to apply side pressure like that, Todzilla style, that is going to put a lot of pressure on that shoulder. I also had a similar surgery, rotator cuff surgery, and I'm not a high level arm wrestler by any means, but I can feel that I can apply side pressure a little bit like this in a top roll as well. But if I get in this compromise situation that I just have to push sideways, I feel like I have the power. I feel like I have some power to do that, but that shoulder just does not allow me to do that. So if that match ever goes in such situation where it is wrist for wrist, I said the same thing on Engin's podcast. Engin was saying that, but John has had more injuries than everyone probably. Yes, I do agree, but shoulder surgery is fresh, and I think it is going to matter a lot. So Sab the B is saying Prudnik should win unless John improves a lot. I think if Prudnik smashes Todd, John will get motivated and train hard. I think he may get demotivated looking at how easily Prudnik may beat Todd Hutchings. Sabdabi, I do not necessarily agree with your statement. John may get demotivated after if he sees Todd Hutchings just getting destroyed by Prudnik. How good is Zurab Tabridze in your opinion? Mean we just talked about it. We just talked about it. RVJ versus Zurab Tabridze. That match is going to happen. That is again going to clear a lot of doubts for us where he stands. If he beats him somewhere between that line. Paulin, I think Paulin is a good estimate. But Paulin is also around 100 to 103 kilos. And if Paul beats Zurab Tabridze, an elite European arm wrestler, at the same weight, then where is Paul Lin? Paul Lin doesn't often lose. He's a great, great arm wrestler. Yes, John beat him, but it was a good match. These arm wrestling math, this arm wrestling math is making Zurab kind of look weaker than what he should be. than what he should be. I mean, he was 85 kg WAF world champ, and there is a big difference between 85 and 100 kilos, especially when you are only around 5'8", which I think Zurab is. His height may be a limiting factor. Vitali was also around that weight, 85, 90 kilos, but he was tall, so it was easy for him to be competitive in the super heavyweight as well. Josh Rowe, I hope it is not something negative against me. John is not fast to the pad, but he is fast to gain position. Yes, gain position, maybe also not to gain position, but to just get in a stopping position, good stopping position. By gaining position, I think you are not meaning an offensive position, because I rarely see John Brzenk in an offensive position off the go, but he gets in a very, very good defensive position where he can tire his opponent out and he negates their speed. Like, at most that you are going to get John Brzenk off the start, going to get from John Brzenk is this much, and he's going to stop you there, or either this one. Did Engin boycott all the Russians? Why don't I see any of them competing? Fenry SSA. Because Engin is associated with WAF. WAF, not WAF, they're Turkish Federation, and Turkish Federation is associated with WAF, and WAF has banned all the Russian athletes because of that war situation, which I'm hearing that Russian athletes ban may be lifted very soon, and we may see Russian athletes at East versus West. So it is not on Engin. Engin cannot or should not go against his own country's federation, who I'm sure Engin has done a lot for them as well, and they have done a lot for Engin as well. So it does not make sense for Engin to invite the athletes, banned Russian athletes, and to go against his own country's arm wrestling federation and WAF. So this is why no, it is not something that Engin wants personally. Engin has said countless times that he wants all the Russians to compete, but not until the ban is officially lifted. Do you think Paulin beats RVJ now? Yes, for sure. Sad the B, I for sure do think so. I think Paulin cracks RVJ now. There won't be a huge gap, but maybe like 53-47, something like that. I think Paulin beats it. William is saying, meant since Lin gave a match, good fight to John in a hook. Yes, yes, he did. But Ron Bath as well, of course. Yes, he beat Ron Bath. Said the big great match. Like that's true. Prudnik convincingly beating Todd. I don't know how these arm wrestling polls work, but how? Just somebody explain it to me. How is Todd Hutchings a favorite against Evgeny Prudnik in the polls? I just do not understand this comment, this poll result. 76 people watching, 28 likes, guys. Please, 50 likes at least. Doesn't take much. Maximum 4 seconds. Just click on that cross, thumbs up, and full screen again. Do not have to exit the chat at all, exit the video at all. They can meet at the same weight as well, which is very nice for a change. Yes, yes. Paulin and Zurab you're talking about, I guess. We need to see Kurdecha versus Daniel Prokopchuk. No, I don't think we need to see that. Daniel is 75 kilos at 80 at most, 80 kilos. Kurdecha versus Daniel Prokopchuk, Van Levan, 1 versus Perez Lefty. Now I see what you're saying. Mikhail Merkelov is saying under 95 kilos, John wouldn't be a favorite versus Ongarbayev even now. John cannot even drop to this weight. Interesting comment. Interesting comment. Kydyrgali also competes in 100 kilos in his own country. I think we saw two competitions from him after his shoulder surgery, and there was one guy named Baranov. Baranov, I think I don't know his full name, but he did beat Ongarbayev in the overalls, I think, or maybe in his own category in the Asian Championships. Not Asian, Kazakhstan National Championships. I think it was few months ago, and he beat him in overalls. It was a hook battle, I think, and whenever he was going sideways, Kydyrgali's shoulder was just not holding up to that kind of side pressure. But I think it was last month or maybe in May, they faced each other again. This time, Ongarbayev beat Baranov. So it is clear that he's already improving, unless that the other guy had a really big war before that. He beat him in the Asians, and he's back again, Asian champion. Ongarbayev, 100 kilos champion. Nikhil, what do you mean? Ongarbayev is like 105 kilos. Yes, Ongarbayev is over 100 kilos right now for sure. He competes in 100, so I think he is over 100. Sabdabi, I mean top 8, 95 kilos. When John is pissed off, goat, he gets offensive. Zurab, round 2 and 4. Jonathan is saying Zurab is overestimated. He almost lost to Ron, who lost to Lin. This is the point. But Zurab was saying he was not even 50%, which almost everyone says after the match. And he said he had COVID. So he said he was at least 50% stronger in the John Brzenk match compared to the Ron Bath match. The chat is dead today, Mikhail. No, no. At least I am able to keep up to the chat. No problem at all. Clint PMK, long time no see, brother. Welcome. Ron lost to Paul because he needed more than 3 weeks to recover. You gotta remember he's fucking 60. I've not created a poll in many days. So who wins? Question mark. John or second option Ongarbayev. Okay, Sabdabi, I don't know. Prudnik scares me how easily he beat Morozov. Yes, that was amazing, man. I don't think John beats that guy. And the way he just allows people to hit him sideways, that thing may be very costly against if he tries that against Todd Hutchings, because we saw how Prudnik defeated Rustam Babayev. I think it was in 2019. He just allowed Rustam, and he was holding him off his pronation. Rustam was hitting sideways, and Prudnik was not even looking there. He just very casually hit, absorbing all the hits with the slight pronation and cup in his wrist. That was very dominant. But trying to do that, and he was doing the exact same thing with Morozov as well. He was just containing his wrist and with slight pronation and cupping, and he was allowing Morozov to hit sideways. This is how Morozov injured his shoulder, trying to hit sideways without any control. If he tries to do that with Todd Hutchings, if he allows Todd to take him there, man, that may be an impossible comeback from there. But I don't think Prudnik is going to do that. Sounds crazy, but I actually think John's got it against Prudnik. It's John. Man, I don't think so because Prudnik. Do you first of all do you agree that John is like that Prudnik is like the guy below 110 kilos, definitely top two or top three. And the guys that John has faced, Zurab, he used to be 85, now he's like 100 kilos, and definitely not top five, in my opinion, at that weight. And Zoloev, 90 kg guy. And who else did John beat? Dimitri Kechen, definitely not top five at now, at this point. I think he won Europeans once, but I wouldn't say he's top three or top five in the world at his weight now. So John has not faced since his comeback. Man, if who knows? Maybe Prudnik is at Devon's level. Maybe Prudnik is at Devon's level at this time. Do you think Hermes can beat both Gennady and Morozov in November? Yes, I do think so. assuming that Morozov is going to beat Cody Merritt. Cody is a great opponent, but man, Morozov's left is different. Americans almost always favorites on the poll. Yes, because it is an English channel. If you go over to a European channel, I think they are going to be the favorite over there. Zurab is very limited puller. His wrist is too small. Yes, he easily gets top rolled. Sasha Andreev is much better. This is why I said that this RBJ versus Zurab match, despite Zurab being 100 kilos and Sasha being 88 kilos only, still that Sasha match was very dominant. And I think this match, Zurab versus RBJ, is going to be closer than that. Zurab Ron lost to Paul because he needed more than 3 weeks to recover. It was a war. Yes, Ron only got 3 weeks to prepare. Okay, Dallas is saying, okay, read that lag. Yeah, I'll say it again. For me, Prudnik is the best 110 kg unless proven otherwise. I agree with that statement completely. I don't know. Prudnik scares me how easily he beat Morozov. Reddit. Never bet against the goat. Yes, I've learned it the wrong way. But if this match happens, yeah, I'll bet. If this is not a shutout, maybe even on a shutout stake match, I will bet on Prudnik in that match. Maybe. But I sometimes get scared. I already had $300 on Levan, and Levan was going on different interviews, and he was saying like, yeah, maybe he will let Devon Led win the last round. And like, are you crazy, Levan? I'm going to kill you. Levan scared me whenever he mentioned that he's going to win 5 rounds against Devon, and 6th round, yeah, maybe. I don't like that attitude, especially when I have my own money on the line in that match. Pradeep versus Rebecca title match. Oscar. Corey said John's hook was definitely a lot stronger than Alex's. Yes, yes. Sab the B. Corey has a longer, taller arm. He was just crashing sideways. If John is somehow able to get in a hook with Alex, Alex may still be able to roll out of that hook. Pradeep, who are your top 5 top rollers? Oh god, great question. Hermes Gasparini is there for sure. If you're talking about all time, Teres has to be there. Liliev has to be there. Vitali should also be there. Levan. These are my top 5 top rollers. Dimitri Salayev, we need to see more from him. Pradeep, 90% of the time you say Brazil can't do it, and look what happens. Yes, I would agree. But I think I predicted him to beat Dimitri Kechen, to beat Paulin, I think to beat Chan Shaw as well, to beat Zurab Tabaridze. I've predicted him to win those matches. I'm predicting him to win against who's left? This guy, Ongarbayev as well. So it is not like I always underestimate John. I've been wrong a couple of times. How? Wow, did Corey really say that? Is Hermes pulling Morozov left? So Hermes Gasparini, Brian is pulling whoever wins between Cody Spur Merit and Morozov. Prudnik would beat Corey similar to how he beat Morozov. And yes, I think Prudnik can beat Corey everywhere. In a hook very easily. Maybe he will not be able to top roll him, but I think he can hook and beat him easily. Ongarbayev looked strong against Levan. I would not say Pavid, I would not say he looked strong. Levan was just planting his elbow, and Levan was not moving sideways. He was not using his arm at all. He was just trying to catch Ongarbayev with his fingers, trying to contain him with his fingers without moving his arm at all. And Ongarbayev was peeling his fingers open. This is what was happening. In the straps as well, Levan was just trying to curl him in with his wrist without applying any side pressure at all. But it was not possible. Ongarbayev was hitting, and then Levan was just smashing him to the side. This is what I saw from that match after watching it a couple of times. Pradeep, where would you put Morozov in world rankings? Right-handed, I think, I think he can be top 10. Very in maybe in 1 year, definitely top 10. Left-handed is already top 5 for sure. Him, Levan, if Levan trains, maybe Vitali as well. Dimitri, I don't think so. David Dadikian is there. Maybe Oleg Zok can also get there depending on how he performs in that match. Denis Seplenkov can also be there. Hey Pradeep, did you see that disgusting move from John on Arm Wars? How is that even allowed to be promoted? So I watched John's Uncle John's one match, and I've not watched the other. Please mention what happened there. Please mention what happened there. In the first match, I did not see anything wrong, but maybe in the left-handed match, there was something wrong. Pradeep, where would you put Morozov? Okay. And I did not understand that. He was just going in the corner, shouting, screaming. Bro, you clearly got dominated 2-0, and you know clearly there is nothing that you can do right now. I don't understand, just for the sake of showmanship, if you really need to do that, if you clearly know that you are losing that super match. Alex isn't known for his hook, though. Yes, that is correct. Stacks. John's loyal microwave. You realize John has beaten almost everyone at some point. Is Prudnik better than the version or Siplenkov that John beat twice? No, but John is not that version that beat Siplenkov twice. This is the question here. That's not how you measure someone's current level microwave. What's up, Pradeep? Almighty, are you almighty? Thank you very much. Prudnik won't be able to topple Corey, but I'm doing great. And I forgot to tell you, I've taken like a month off from my work. So for 1 month, you get to see arm wrestling news as a full time arm wrestling YouTuber. My full time career for 1 month. I hope you will enjoy these 30-minute live streams. As soon as Engin Terzi goes live, please mention in the comments. I'll end my live stream. And please switch over to Engin's live stream. It will be really amazing. But just check. Do not close this video, but just check if he's live or not. Pradeep, check out Ongarbayev versus Plamen match. I uploaded on my channel. It's epic. I'll check it out. Master Jack is saying he tried to break his opponent's arm by not letting him go and slip. He pushed his opponent away beyond. Man, that is sounds bad. Sounds bad. I'll check it out. This version of John almost pinned a much stronger. So he's live now. Okay. Thank you very much for joining, guys. Before you end this video, please hit the thumbs up button. It won't take much effort from you. Victor is saying Engin's live. So yes, Engin usually, yeah, chills in the first couple of minutes. So you are doing a great job, brother. Sid Views is saying thank you very much. Levan Gasparini, the moderator. Engin going live now. I'm going to end it. John is 76% favorite against Kydyrgali Ongarbayev. That was expected. This version of John almost pinned a much stronger Devon. I wouldn't doubt his current form too much. So he almost pinned. But that version of Devon against John 5-6 weeks after his boxing match, would you say that that version of Devon beats Prudnik for sure? I would not say that. I would not say that. The version of Devon that faced Levan would beat Prudnik, but the version of Devon that faced John Brzenk, I wouldn't say so. Pradeep, are we going to see you in action with some of the known puller in Pro Panja? Practice pull Anand Kumar. Yeah, maybe not, maybe not. I haven't like lifted a weight in months or maybe a year. So I my arms would get gassed out in like two practice pulls. I won't think it will be a great decision. JR Williams, welcome, brother. Pradeep, do you think we, the arm wrestling fans, need to quit comparing records against common opponents to extrapolate the outcome of future matches? No, I do not think so. JR Williams, I almost always agree with you. I do not think so. Maybe because I do that a lot. Alan, how else are we going to do that? Yes, in future, because of Engin Terzi, there are going to be many super matches, so it will be easy. But right now, we need to find those matches, I think. Alan Zoloev versus Bojidar is the match I want to see in 6 months to 2 years. Man, that match can happen now. Alan Zoloev was looking like a beast. He was just holding Yanis Omolins casually. Like Yanis was nothing in front of him. That was just amazing. And he beat Arthur Makarov in a hook. Arthur in a hook. I think Arthur versus Bojidar can also be interesting. That guy's a beast. Stop being lazy and train. Oh, that is correct. That is correct. Yeah, full time. 1 month full time YouTuber. A full time YouTuber arm wrestler can train, should train. So thank you very much. Please let's join. I'll also be there. Engin Terzi's live stream. Devon is not beating Prudnik. I will never agree to that until he beats someone like Hermes or Gennady. Levan Gasparini, thank you with his speed. Bye bye, guys. Remember to like. Remember to like. Devon can't beat the top 8 version of Prudnik. And bye bye. When you're making OnlyFans, never.